Let's talk Boca Raton. Let's talk Syracuse and let's talk USF. Syracuse favored by 3 in this game. No Garrett Schrader. No Carlos Del Rio. No Leon Lowry. And USF kind of looks like they're getting everyone that they really, really need back in this game. Uh, yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? I know your thoughts of this game. I know you really like this game. I'm a little bit fearful, more fearful than you are. But let's hear what you got.
Well, I'm gonna go USF here, and obviously as a dog, I'll take the points as well. I mean, I don't think they're that great. I do like Alex Golish. I love the way the program's trending, right? I don't think it'll see, and I like the way Syracuse is trending as well. Fran Brown was a great job building a staff. We've done a whole video on that, so go check that out if you're a Syracuse fan or if you're curious to learn about what we think about the Syracuse hire there. But I think with this team right now, like this is not a great football team. You're down to your third string quarterback, a redshirt freshman guy, and some wildcat. Like, maybe it can work in a bowl game, maybe it can't. But it's also like you're in Syracuse. We talked about this with Georgia Southern, and you're going down to Boca Raton, okay? Like you have to show up ready to play. And like I'm not gonna pick this based on totally vibes, but at the same time, like a lot of things working against Syracuse. USF already knows it's like to be in Florida. A lot of these kids probably take their spring break to Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale area, being right in Tampa there. So I don't know. I just think Byron Brown gonna get after it. Syracuse, LaQuint Allen's about just the only good player, really good player left on this roster. And I'm sure he'll be featured plenty, and he's a really good player in his own right. But I think better days are ahead for Syracuse, but not this game.
Yeah, I will say the thing that concerns me about USF, both of their guards, experienced some injuries at the end of the year. I don't know if those guys are playing. If they don't play, I
Hmm.
think that's kind of a big deal, right? If you lose 2 guys on your offensive line, it's kind of a big
Yep.
deal there. USF has one of the worst pass defenses in the entire country, right? But what makes me feel better about that is that Syracuse, I don't know that they'll be able to take advantage of that,
Who's
right?
throwing the ball? Yeah.
Like we talked about New Mexico State when they played Fresno State. New Mexico State has a terrible pass defense, but Fresno State can take advantage of it, right? In this case, I don't think Syracuse can necessarily take advantage of that. And USF's run defense isn't particularly great either, but they kind of load the box there. Maybe they can get some stops on the Quinn Allen. I'm going to take USF +3, and I'm going to take them to win straight up. I don't feel great about that at all. It'd be irresponsible to place money on this game. It would be irresponsible for any human being to place money in this game if they are actually confident that they could win this bet. I know you feel really, really good about USF, but I don't know. We had this conversation before, and CD almost convinced me to put this on Dawson's Diner, but I cannot, in the right mind, do that at all. Uh, but yeah, I mean, also the other dynamic too is obviously no Dino Babers. Like, there's just so many question marks in this game. I feel like I'll take the team that's basically playing a home game. I'll take the team that's catching 3. I'll take the team that's got their quarterback. I'll take the team that has a good coach. That's Alec Golish. So that's what I'll take. So I guess we're riding on the same wavelength there. But I would not be surprised. Like you talked about this before. Syracuse won some games down the stretch without particularly good quarterback play at all.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It's super interesting. You mentioned the matchup there with USF's pass defense against a pretty weak Syracuse passing game as of right now, as it stands, which obviously favors USF because they can load the box, stop the runs, the Wildcat. But like you mentioned, yeah, at the end of the ACC schedule, like yeah, they didn't beat great teams, but they still beat them. Playing with a quarterback that had half a shoulder, and everyone knew what they were gonna do. It was super interesting there, and I thought Tino Favors and Nunzio Campanile, I think that's how you say his name, the interim head coach there, did a really good job to get those guys ready to play. So yeah, it's tough though. Syracuse lose some guys in the portal, Leon Lowry, Jeremiah Wilson, the D lineman as well, Terry Lockett, which is tough. But I'm excited to see what Alex Golish. I think he's gonna get really amped up to play this game. He's gonna scheme some stuff open for USF, who's been explosive at times in the American in their own right. Yeah, this game definitely gonna be one I want to watch and check out because it's super interesting, but at the same time, like it's interesting for like what makes bowl games so special, right? Because it's like who's gonna show up. We're gonna see some guys we've never seen before, and hopefully they're gonna make some plays. That's also the interesting thing. Like we talked about it with backup quarterbacks and third string quarterbacks. We've had a couple games now where we're down to their third string quarterback, and like how do they show up and play? And like sometimes you could just still run the ball and do whatever you want, and play good defense against a team like in the bowl game like Ohio did, right? But then it's also like if Boise State's playing UCLA with their third string quarterback and they kind of get trounced there. It's really tough both ways.
Yeah, here's some teams that were playing with their third string quarterback up until this point. Ohio, who won. Louisiana, they did not win. Boise State, they did not win. Western Kentucky, they did win. And that's it. So there's four of them. So they're
Two
two
and
and two
two.
so far in the bowl games. It's not terrible, but if you want to talk about quarterback play, Byron Brown has been phenomenal this year. Phenomenal.
It's a freshman.
Yeah, exactly. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And now is that a lot of that Golish absolutely drawing up some stuff, some seeds for him? Yes. But I mean, he played terribly against Alabama, but he had some games where he was fantastic. The Navy game stands out to me where he was phenomenal. The Memphis game stands out when he was phenomenal. The Charlotte game recently, he was phenomenal. I he
Da-
can elevate a
Down the
team for sure.
stretch as well. Like he got better as he went on, like as freshman young quarterbacks do. And your play caller settles in, right? A guy that's adjusting to be a head coach and a play caller and all that other stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, 34 total touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. You have like 3,800 yards total. That's pretty dang good for a freshman there in the American. So I like what we're talking. I like USF here. I think it's the right play, but I don't feel great about it at all. But I know you do, so we'll see how it turns out. I felt great about Louisiana last week, and we saw how that turned out. So I mean, they blew it, but what do you know?